there's anything that I want you to get out of this video, is to truly find your inner peace. Be content with who you are. I don't know how it's gonna look, bro. This is how I'm looking right now. I haven't got a haircut in about almost 6 months. It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a minute. So I need to go ahead and get that shape up. I'm getting a taper fade haircut. I'm keeping the hair, so don't have no worries. I've been having friends telling me about the time that I did cut all my hair off, like it was 9/11 or something. So have no fear. I mean, I'm getting a little shape up, you know. It might be, it could be a little uneven, who knows, but I just want a little shape up, taper fade, keeping all the hair. Might even cut like half an inch off, but you know, I grow hair really fast, so you won't even really recognize it, especially when I have like shrinkage. But I don't know how it's gonna turn out, and that's part of the video right now. Is you just have to keep going and keep putting in work. You have to keep putting in your performance and your activities. I had checked how long I've been on Instagram, and granted, I don't really be on Instagram when I'm at the gym, but I was in my phone at the gym when I was on the treadmill. Granted, I mean, it wasn't like anything necessarily unproductive. I was posting content, but most importantly, you know, I was scamming through content as I was on the treadmill, and I can do that, but that's not my rule. My rule is to be on the treadmill and I'm either listening to music or I'm listening to an audiobook or something like that, or I'm on YouTube watching a video. So my rule is not to be on Instagram, because my rule is to be on Instagram for 4 hours or 4 hours and a half, right? It used to be for 5 hours. I have numbed it down to 4 hours because it seems like I can't seem to be off my phone for no more than 8 to 12 hours a day. Granted, I am a content creator, but like I said, that's not my rule. I'm working better on chiming down on only being on social media, only being on Instagram when I need to be and not when I want to be. If I want to be a part of the 1%, if I want to be a multi-millionaire social media strategist and content creator and filmmaker and all these different things, I got to learn how to utilize my time right. And I'm telling you right now, I can give myself a big pat on the back. Like, I utilize my time way better now than I did a year ago. I utilize my time better now than I did 6 months ago. I utilize my time better now than I did a month ago. And I can give myself props for that. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. And yet everybody around me is motivated. They're inspired to do more for their life, to do more for content creating, to pursue their dreams and their passions. And I love that. But I would say it's healthy, but I have this paranoia of feeling like I don't do enough. There's still more work to be done. Like Kobe Bryant said, like, job not finished. You know, why are we celebrating? Job not finished yet. We might be up by 30, but you know, the game's not over yet. So I still have work to do. I have places to go. I have destinations to be at in my life. And even when I reach the 50K, I haven't reached 50K yet on YouTube. Even when I reach the 50K and when I reach the 100K, I can celebrate on that day. And then the next day, how are we going to get to 1 million? How are we going to get to 500,000, you know? When I get my first like 6-figure check from YouTube, I could be glad about that. But then it's like, okay, now how can I make 7 figures? You know, like it just keeps going and going and going. And it should be a part of your method in life. It should be a part of your, your ethical work in life, to wanting to do more, to wanting to obtain more out of life. If you're a Christian, Jesus even told you that you can have life more abundantly. But oftentimes a lot of religious people, they demonize riches and possessions and things like that because they misunderstand what the Bible is telling them. And so because their pastor, who can ride around in a BMW and all these different cars and have all the nice suits, he tells you that it is easier for a camel to enter through a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. And all the type of people in the world misunderstand that quote in the meaning and the depth of that teaching. I'm gonna keep saying it in my videos. If y'all do like these type of vlog type videos, you can let me know in the comments below. But I will not stop, bro. Every single day I have to achieve more. I will do whatever it takes for me to get to the point where I need to be to accomplish the goals and standards of my life. Sometimes I used to have a bad habit of looking at my friends and basing my life and what I should be doing in my life off of my friend group. That's not a good thing. It's one thing if your friend group and like everybody is living their dream life and you're like, damn, they're doing it, I need to do it too. I've noticed like when I'm in the gym, sometimes like if I see somebody really working and putting in that work in the gym, it's gonna motivate me more to put in more work in the gym. I also gotta take credit in knowing that somebody might be looking at me without me even noticing. Somebody might be, studying what I do in the gym, and it's moving them to do more in the gym too. The same thing applies to my content creating. I put out content every single day, and now it's motivating other people to put out content every single day and put out better content. So we just got back from the haircut that took maybe 40 minutes tops. So I didn't want nothing too much. I just wanted a little fade. You feel me? That's all I wanted. I'm content. What's gonna happen when you leave the faith? Are you just gonna find another Jesus? No, let me know. Like, are you just gonna find another religious dogma to just contribute your life to? It's not enough for you to just leave Christianity. It's not enough for you to just find or leave Jesus so you can find another Jesus. Leave Jesus so you can find somebody else to cling to. And that's on Aphrodite. Hell, that's on Oya. It's pouring down. The last thing you want to do as a man is to dedicate your life to something that isn't real. And luckily, I've only done that for closely 16 years of my life. People are reaching to the 50s and 60s of their lives, and they still dedicate themselves to a false god. They still dedicate themselves to a man-made religion. And they can give you good principles, they can make you a good person, but at what cost? A lot of people still have low self-esteem. A lot of people still don't love themselves. A lot of people are still confused about what their true purpose and meaning is for life, and they're not getting any type of message from the big man upstairs. And it puts them in a deep psychosis of thinking like they're not good enough, or their life is always going to a pity, or they feel like they have to keep trying to do this and that just so that they can get a flash of lightning. Anything to get some type of approval, a seal of approval from this God that they have been conditioned to believing in. It does not benefit you as a man to follow after religious dogma. You can love and appreciate the teachings of a man. You can learn under a man, become his student, all these other different things. But the essential point is for you to come to terms with your life and your journey to ascend to become the master and the teacher. And that is what the teacher and the master is supposed to set you up for. not for him to dominate over you and always be supreme, but to give you the ingredients and the recipe to be better than him. This is the same thing that Jesus did for his disciples. Jesus even said that no disciple or no servant can be better than his master or teacher. But when the teacher prepares the student, then the student or the disciple can be just like his master or teacher. People have been conditioned and programmed and indoctrinated with believing that they're supposed to be glazing Jesus or praising God. The essential point of your journeys is to become God. But you have been duped and bamboozled into this programming made by archons, charged by the demiurge and by these ego-based religions, these ego-based teachings and doctrines. And so therefore you've been indoctrinated into believing that you're supposed to worship something outside of yourself. And for decades, people honor their lives, I should say waste their lives, on serving God and worshiping God and living by a book that was created by people that they don't know. They cannot name the people who actually wrote the Bible. Paul can be about as close as you can get, but even some of Paul's epistles are argued to not have been written by him. But even on a wider scope, you're not supposed to follow after what is written in books. You're supposed to follow after what you have been born with by birthright, and that is the Spirit. I had a friend like this who would try and find a church home who would read her Bible every single day or every other day, that would pray to God, going to sleep and waking up, and still feeling like everything that she was doing in life wasn't enough. And I told her, what type of relationship is that? For you to think like you're not good enough for God. What type of relationship is that? I think that's a very toxic relationship, to think of yourself as a sinner and less deserving of somebody's grace and mercy and love. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, I am just as deserving of their love and grace and compassion as they are for mine. Because we have built that intimate relationship of knowing one another, and we give each other the space to grow with one another. But it's always one-sided with God. It's always one-sided with this entity that you have been programmed into believing in. So you think you have to do the most. You have to chase and seek and find this God. Even to such extent, they have gospel songs like, I'm chasing after you, no matter what I gotta do, 'cause I need you more and more. And some of us, we were raised up with these songs. Some of y'all have risked your whole lives to literally fit into a religion, and you just don't care enough to do the same all over again for you. You have risked your whole life, dedicated your whole life to something you thought was real, and you're now conflicted. You know how many Christians are conflicted about what they believe in? These ongoing hymns and psalms of chasing and seeking and trying to find this entity, when the God force, the infinite force that you're looking for to save you, is already here. It is within you. This is the same gospel that Jesus was telling the world, that the kingdom, the presence, the infinite consciousness of God is within you. Even in the Gnostic Gospels, he tells his disciples, or rather, I think he tells Mary even, that which is within you will save you. But if you do not use that which is within you, it will consume you. The archons control the church. The archons control this nation. They control the world. And while I don't believe in the demiurge, I don't believe in actual forces and spirits that can control my life and allow me to reincarnate, I do believe that people are led by different forces in this world that allows people in humanity to waste their lives away and give up their life force to something bigger than them, or what they think is bigger than them. And so people walk around in this constant confusion of what is truly the will of God. They don't even know their own purpose for their lives, and they're over here trying to search for the will of God. That's sad. And so you continue to charge up these archons. You continue to charge up the demiurge and the ego. And at what cost?
54 years old, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm about to destroy every excuse you've ever told yourself for why you're still stuck. You want the glow up, but still live like every day is a cheat day. Not only nutritionally, but spiritually, financially, and emotionally. You're scared of failure, but what should terrify you more is being 5 years older, scrolling TikTok and Instagram, still saying, someday. You've mastered potential, but you refuse to master commitment. You say you want luxury, but your effort is giving clearance rack. You romanticize the future, but you date your bad habits like they're your soulmate. You ask for clarity, but then you ignore it every time it shows up dressed as hard work. You want better, but you keep walking back to average like it's your childhood home. You're not tired from chasing your dreams. You're tired from running in circles around the same excuses. You want the freedom that comes with discipline, but you treat structure like it's punishment. You want success, but only if it fits nicely between your distractions and your excuses. You made a vision board for a life your habits are actively rejecting. You keep blaming burnout, but truthfully, you've been coasting on daydreams and dopamine for months. You say you're serious this time, but the last version of you said the same thing with the same habits.